All right, we're live. Tapping Birdie, the Rocket Classic. No more Rocket Mortgage. Massive difference this year. Here with my favorite South African friend, Byron, aka the Model Maniac. Byron, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, and it's brave of you to call me a friend after the Twitter beef that we've had for the last
Yeah.
couple months. I don't even know how we can classify ourselves as that. Also, one of my favorite things is just people thinking that we are like hardcore beefing, but
No, I
you
don't
know,
think that's real.
it's a fun little bit to have. I think it's a good time, and it's always good to just be able to have a conversation on X that seems
Twitter.
on X, Twitter, whatever, about stuff that's contentious. So and it
Yeah,
turns
no,
out we were
I
both right. So
I
that's good.
honestly like the US Open stuff with the course and everything. Like, I'm glad it turned out the way it did, to be completely honest, because again, like, if Wyndham Clark can win a major and it's just the US Open, like, there's something wrong with your event to a certain point. So to see somebody that is shorter off the tee actually get it done at the US Open, I know we got it done in a crazy way and gained a bajillion putting, and that's kind of all that happened. But I'm glad that happened because, as I've said on this pod many times, like, I just think the first three majors of the year are just way too distance biased, and it's a bit frustrating sometimes.
It is. But at the same time, if you're not a player that's like adapting to that kind of stuff, what are you doing? Like
Yeah,
for me, like Colin Morikawa remaining at the same ball speed he entered the tour with, it's like now he's just changing caddies more than he's changing like physicians or like
yeah.
strength coaches. Like
I actually
he needs
saw there's
to.
this guy on Instagram. You should follow him. He talks about all the equipment changes on the PGA Tour and like what people are using, and the amount of putters that Colin Morikawa has gone through since he first got on the tour is absolutely ridiculous. Like, this guy tinkers so much. Last week he's not hitting with the glove. He's a bit of a mental head case right now.
Yes, that's when you're searching. But Brian, don't you think the moment he came at us, the media, whatever, saying he
Us,
doesn't owe us
Chris
anything,
Powers.
came at Chris. He hasn't had anything better than a top 10, like a 10th
Yeah,
place
no,
finish
I
since
agree.
then.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was second twice prior to that. He is totally not comfortable in his skin anymore
Yeah.
because he outpunted his coverage on the comments.
Yeah,
So
he really started off the year very hot. I mean, he had a
yes,
really great start to the year, and it looked like he was going to sleepwalk to his first victory on U.S. soil in like 4 years against Russ Henley. And we were watching Rolex. We were watching a great commercial, and next thing we know, Russ Henley chips in and seals it from. Yeah, he is going through some stuff right now, and it's not even kind of earlier in the season. I think people were kind of like, oh, he's not winning, but like he's still like finishing top 10 every week, and like he battled everybody, and like but now he's not winning, and he's not even having that high floor. So yeah, something's up with him for certain. Talking about another guy with mental issues, Tommy Fleetwood at the Travelers. Was the bigger story for you, Tommy or Keegan, last Sunday in Cromwell? What do you think's the bigger storyline coming out from it?
well, the biggest storyline I think is Keegan.
Yeah.
From a macro like everybody perspective. But for me, I was gutted for Tommy, man. I spent probably a couple hours after the round on Sunday watching Tommy play in Ryder Cups, and just like I wanted to like feel like, are we overreacting to how this guy does poorly on the tour? Like
Yeah.
he's such a legend, man. Like when he was with Molinari in France, savagery, absolute savagery. He was the guy that put the spike in Ricky Fowler, like that put Ricky on such a pretzel that he conceded the winning point for the
Yeah.
US team. Like it's super weird, Brian, and it's just like a mental
So
thing inside his head for US soil.
I think, there are some people that, there are some people on X. I'm not saying it's a lot of people, but there are some people that try and make it seem like his struggles to win on the PGA Tour are actually not that bad, and it's just random, and he just hasn't had a lot of like chances, and like there should be apologies if he wins Travelers. And I like Tommy, But I am completely on the opposite end of the spectrum of that. I mean, it's not a coincidence that they show that he has 10 more top 10s than the next closest person without a win. It's just not a coincidence that what happened at the Travelers happened. You know, it's really sad. I don't feel necessarily bad for the guy considering he's a multi-millionaire and plays golf for a living, but he has a mental block on not on Sundays when he has a chance to win golf tournaments. He has a mental block in him that is different than a lot of guys. And I don't think this is trending towards brighter days and he's going to go win Portrush or, you know, he's going to learn from this. I think the guy has serious mental issues when he can get himself in the mix and actually win. And I don't necessarily think he's just going to win a PGA Tour event. Like, it's just going to happen.
Well, we've already had one Thomas debunk that at the Waste Management. You know, like,
yes.
I would have said Tommy Fleetwood wins a tournament before Thomas Dietrich does.
Yeah.
So there's hope, a smidgen that's getting smaller and smaller as the earth rotates. But, you know, I think also the issue here, I'm looking at Tommy's situation. He's only ever had the lead, Brian, twice now, including the Travelers going into a Sunday. You know, like, he's just not giving himself enough chances to kind of really get the feel for being in. I know Xander, 2-time major winner last year, hasn't had a top 5 this year because he fell out of the groove after being injured. You know, like, you have to get comfortable with the feeling of being at the top of the leaderboard. And Tommy's just not giving himself a chance to even test the chair. You know, like, it's just not a thing.
It is like, I think we overrate how many times he's blown it. Like, there haven't been that many times. Like, I mean, I think of Canada in my mind. I mean, he's playing a 500-yard par 5. All he has to do is birdie it and you win it. And he played really well. It was like, he wasn't necessarily in the mix. I mean, he was, but he had some great shots down the stretch. And then it's like, you get to 18 and it's like, dude, you have to birdie a 500-yard par 4. And it's like, you hit an iron into the rough and your birdie putts from 50 feet. It's just like anytime. And then even at Shinnecock, like, shoots one of the best rounds in major championship history. And he has a 9-footer on 18 to tie the lead and post something really good. And he hits a terrible putt. It's like, he's capable of this amazing golf, but once he knows it's his chance to win, it's just completely inexcusable to shoot 2 over at TPC Cromwell on Sunday. He has to shoot even par to win. And it's just like, it seemed like a coronation. He hits 14 of 14 fairways on Saturday, and then he not slices one, but hits a terrible drive and one. It's like, all right, here we go. I mean, there's no chance.
Yeah. And then jabs the 5-footer, you know, like, the moment the driver started going south, the dominoes just kept going because then he had longer par putts to save and the putter was shaky as shit, you know, like, and then also the Olympics. He knew what he needed to do to get a gold. Like, he wasn't in the lead going into Sunday, but he knew. Scotty posted that number so early that he knew exactly what he needed to do. And for the final 4 holes, it was gutless again, you know, like.
Yeah, no. And Powers made a good point. He comes in runner-up at Portrush to Lowry in his home country. And then he's on the receiving end of Nick Taylor at Canada. And then he goes up against Keegan at Travelers. Like, he just runs himself into the worst situations where he just can't get a Sony Open win where no one's there and it doesn't really even matter. But I have serious doubts he will ever win a PGA Tour event. And even if he does, there's nothing to Vic Lap from the Tommy crowd. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing to Vic Lap. But that birdie putt on 14, Keegan just hits a shank. You just got to drill that. You just got to make that. Terrible drive on 15. You know, the iron into 16 was awful. Terrible chip too. Hits a great. And then on 17, he has 20 feet. All he needs is a par. And he blasted 5 feet past. It's like, dude, something's up here. Like, something is up with this guy. He's not comfortable.
He needs to shave his hair, I think. Like Samson. He's like reverse Samson. I think he needs to just shave it. Look like you're actually there to like contend and you haven't just left church type thing. Maybe he needs to marry a American woman to get like American citizenship.
Younger.
On the bright side, who he's married to now will probably die a couple decades before he does. So, just mathematically speaking, but it's I think there's hope on the Champions Tour. Maybe
it's tough, and I remember again. I like some of my European friends, but after like Pavone, Corey Pavin, that was great. Wins Farmers. It's like the guy's second PGA Tour start. He wasn't even good on the DP, and he comes out and wins it. It's like, dude, Tommy can't like you. It's just
Bobby Mack.
I feel bad, and I feel like everybody was rooting for Tommy. Like everybody just like without a Keegan ticket or whatever was like, yo, I want to see this guy get it across the line. It's sad. Yeah. And Keegan played great. He made 100 feet of putts in 2 holes. Like he made some absolute bombs to win by 2. It's like those don't drop or whatever. It's like Tommy walks away with the win. But to come off, it's just like you could feel it. It was like it was written once he took off that 9-iron. I heard Keegan had added 7 yards to his approach shot, so that would have made Tommy's approach shot like 157, and he tried to juice a pitching wedge. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
And the harder you hit a wedge, the more it's going to spin as well. You know, like
you just don't.
It's not going to spin on that green either.
You just don't try and juice in that situation. And Keegan really did play it great, and he's having a really great year. And my biggest, and I don't think this is anything revolutionary, but when they announced that he was going to be the Ryder Captain a year ago, I said Keegan is in the tail end of his career, but he's playing really good golf, and there's going to be a situation where he could just make this team. And you have Max Homa dead, Wyndham Clark dead, Tony Finau dead. Like these guys that were shoo-ins for the team, not shoo-ins, but like legit Ryder Cup guys, have just completely fallen off. And there's this big gap emerging of just like, yo, we kind of need some bodies to fill out this American team. And you have one of the people that should fill it, and he's your captain. Now, I would say that Trevor Immelman knows more about captaining a professional golf team than I. He says it's impossible to do. I don't think so. I think it's completely overrated what the captain does. And I think Keegan could play 1 or 2 all-shot matches and Sunday singles, and it wouldn't be like trying to land a man on the moon, in your pajamas. What are your thoughts if it can be done?
It can be done, but to me, the upside of this situation doesn't even come close to the downside of it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be done. And you just said, he can play 1 or 2 old shots and then singles. Why the fuck would you put this guy, who's probably the 6th best guy on the team, only in 3 matches? Because he's the captain. You should run him out there for 5 of them. He's the bottom guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he's on the course, the crowd is going to be next level shit, dude.
But so that's kind of, and this is so, just fan perspective. It would be so sick and such an energy jolt to the American side to have Keegan fucking Bradley be your captain and playing. That would be so sick.
You know what? Just be the captain. Like, he's already been the captain for the last couple months. You need to just dish off all the responsibilities, man. Like, in my opinion,
what do you think the American team should do?
Make him like the superficial captain, but in all honesty, they need to just pick another dude to just run the show. Because
he said, I'm not giving up the captaincy.
Yeah. He's been boned so hard by this Ryder Cup process over the years. I don't blame him for doing that. I just, like I mentioned, I think the upside, what are you getting extra versus what could go horribly wrong in this scenario?
I just think the captaincy is overrated to a certain extent. And I think he's talked about how much planning he's already done. Okay, he's done a ton of planning already. And the week of, I don't know exactly what it entails, but like you want to have a good idea of who you're playing and when beforehand. But he has great vice captains with him. He could delegate some authority, and he could go out with I don't know who would be. I know you do some shit with that. Who his partner would be best, but he's a great fit for Bethpage, and I just think that he could. If Keegan wasn't the captain and he made the team, he would play like max 3. He would not be going out he's as that guy on the team. I don't think he would be needed like that. I think you can.
You don't. The back end of this team is thin, BK.
Ricky played 2 matches.
I know. But he didn't really even deserve to be on that team. Let's be honest.
He had a great year. He just kind of fell off. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to shake out and who's going to play what and all this stuff. I really don't. But I just think you don't need to run him out there for no one plays 5. Very few people play 4. He could play 2 or 3 and it would be a value add. I think you just do both. You figure it out. You delegate some authority. You play early or late, and it's fine. You play, it'll be okay. Don't get a new captain. Absolutely not. I'm completely against getting a new captain just to put him on the team. I think you just do both and you rock with it. And I think we wanted to talk about our American teams. Who is your American team right now? Last time we did this, you told me Justin Rose was top 10 most likely winner of the Masters, and no one beat him over 72 holes. So I'm curious what you have to say.
Okay. Thanks for that PTS Rosie there. All right. So Justin Thomas on the team. Patrick Cantley on the team. I mean, doesn't matter. He's the Justin Rose of the USA.
Yeah.
Colin Morikawa, whatever, Xander, Scotty, Keegan, all on. Bryson.
You're putting Keegan on the team.
Yeah, okay. Dude. It just makes too much sense.
Okay.
Keegan's
on the team.
Yeah, he's on the team. Henley, good. JJ Spawn, good. Ben Griffin, good.
Ben Griffin, I agree probably right now is on, but I don't think he is definitely or even 70% going to be on the team.
Sure. But I think what he's done to play good golf
I think you're missing Bryson.
Off the tee stuff. Yes.
Okay.
I think I might have mentioned him. He's in. He's in. I've only now mentioned 11 people. I would love Patrick Reed on the team, but as Kenny told me it's not happening, I agree. But I think with who we have to choose from,
everyone on the team hates him and he's a cancer. And he had one good week at the Masters. And I genuinely think there was a 0% chance he'll be picked.
Man, he's won so many Ryder Cup points, though.
Yeah, he shot 80. And look, I'm not going to pick a guy for what he did 10 years ago. I'm just not.
I'm also out on Brooks. Don't want him on the team either.
I'm with you.
He's pathetic in the team events, dude. He's played 4 singles matches, BK. 3.5 points won. Played 11 team events. 4.5 points. He's got 1 more point in 7 more matches in the team events than he does singles. He hasn't lost in the singles. Paul Casey's the only one that tied him. Undefeated.
But you're saying he's been shit in alt shot and best ball.
3.5, 2 points in 5 foursomes matches and 2.5 points in 6 4-ball matches.
That's really surprising. I'll use
disgusting.
That
it's like a 40% win rate. Yuck. So maybe Brian Harmon. I think he's proven that he can. Oh, sorry. Burns is an in for me as well. I'm in on Burns.
Okay.
Absolutely. But only for 4 balls.
Yeah.
Do not put him in a foursomes match with Scotty Scheffler. If that happens again, I will lose it.
If they do that, we're losing.
Yeah.
Is that 12? Who's your 12?
My 12th. So Burns would be 10 or 11. And then I think give me Brian Harmon, man. He's savvy in these situations. Is he a great Bethpage fit? No, but he's a great foursomes partner. I think, the short game, you can hide his biggest deficiencies around Bethpage in the foursomes format. So, pair him with someone like Bryson, that would be insane. I think it makes a lot of sense, but who the heck is the 12th guy?
I genuinely right now, I think that there's probably 8 guys on the team. I think it's the top 6, Cantlay, Spawn, and Russ Henley. Those guys are going to be on the team. I'm very confident in those 9 being, or yeah, 8. Those 8. 4 spots after. I think then you kind of get into a different. I think Keegan is going to be on the team. I do. I think they're going to do it. I think Sam Burns is going to be on the team. That's 10. You have 2 spots left. It's open. I don't want to commit to anybody now. But what I did heard, I don't know if you listened, but PJ Clark from the Shotgun Start Keegan told Spawn, you're going to have to earn your way on the team. We don't want rookies. So I don't know what that means for Ben Griffin. I don't know what that means for Mav McNeely. I don't know what that means. But to me, that means that if it comes down to Mav or Berger or, Griffin or Brooks, they might go with the vet. So
what kind of concept is that? You're playing at home. That's the best time to roll out rookies. You have a boys club problem on this fucking team.
What does it do with that? I agree. I'm just saying what Keegan wants. Yeah. I don't think they want to load the team up with rookies.
Who are the rookies? It's
Russ and JJ.
Russ has played a President's Cup. He's like a semi-rookie in like lowercase.
Yeah. I'm not going to be like, the team's going to be Ben Griffin, Mav, and, I don't know who. I think that's really it. I don't even know who else there really is. So I would put those 10. I think Ben's on it. Last spot, I'm just leaving open. I don't know who the fuck it's.
Hot hand. I said to Kenny, whoever shows up, running up to the event, play the guy that's in form. Simple.
I can't even go. Are the Huygaards going to make the Euro team? Are they even good? No. I don't think they're good.
No, they're not. They're not. Is
Rose going to make the European team?
Yes.
I don't agree with that.
He'll be a captain's pick for sure.
I don't know.
He shows up in the big moments, dude, and he is the glue. Like, there's Rory and Rahm, but for Rosie, he got Bobby Mack to the top debutante point scorer. Bobby Mack ruined all of our bets because
Data Golf gives Justin Rose a 4.5% chance to make the team, and his predicted skill is one of the only negatives on the entire list. He's behind Jesper Svensson and Nicholas Neugaard.
Cool, whatever. Justin Rose made a critical putt to avoid the USA team making.
I don't think he's going to be on the team.
Dude, he is the best putter in majors, like bar none. He just shows up in majors and he putts better than anybody over the last 2 decades. He does the same shit in Ryder Cups, man. Like, he's got a skill set that's hard to quantify. Cool, make this his last one. I don't know how old he can play, on Ryder Cups, but
he's going to be on the team.
He's so good. I don't think he should be. I don't think he's playing nearly good enough golf to be on the team right now.
I don't think people realize how bad Justin Rose has been. Like, he's genuinely been, since the Masters, 42 withdraw, cut, 44 cut. Yeah. Like, bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I don't play him in any. Well, the Open Championship.
What about Harry Hall?
Soon. Harry Hall hasn't had he's had one top 5 finish outside of the win that he had in the Alt event in normal golf tournaments. Charles Schwab of 2023. That was his last top 5 on the PGA Tour.
So you think he's shit?
Like, what do you want? Just a guy that's finishing inside the top? Like, what kind of a player do you want on a team for Ryder Cup? Like, if you're going to be playing him foursomes, maybe top 20s is cool. Like consistent. If you're playing him in the 4-ball stuff where you need pop, I don't know if he's the guy. Like, I think you're looking for more explosiveness on a, in match play than you are like consistency.
170 ball speed that hits it like 290.
Yeah, that's not going to be it for me. So
I think Dietz. I would like to see Dietz make a push to make the team. I think it'd be a good fit there, and he's a solid player. Rye. I think Rice should be in a vacuum, but I don't know if they'll pick him. I was hearing Jamie Weir talking about he doesn't fit in with the guys. He's not, a pump up the crowd. He kind of keeps to himself. He's not friends with a lot of people on tour. But I think that his skill level, Data Golf loves him. Like, he should, but I don't know if he's a culture fit. I don't know if he's a team room guy.
That team room has got so many alphas, so many vets that are playing good. He just needs to fit in. Like, don't cause us. He's not going to be a problem. I don't think.
Probably
he's just not going to be a rah. Isn't going to be rah. He's just going to be right.
Fair.
So
that's fair. I'm excited for it. How was going to the President's Cup? My thing about these tournaments is that, and I've been telling everybody, literally, I've been telling everybody that there's only 4 matches going on at one time, and there are a million people there, and you can't see dick. So people that want to go to the Ryder Cup at Bethpage and literally spend $1,500, it's not a good in-person viewing experience. Did you have that same experience?
Yeah. If you're gonna want to go on Friday.
Yeah.
Because I could walk up to the rope and see what was going on. Like, and the problem, what's Bethpage's green situation like? Are they turtlebacks or is it like a stadium?
They're kind of
vibe?
like elevated.
That's even the worst.
But you can't be close to them because they're all surrounded by bunkers.
So where are you viewing from? Like on a hill above the green?
Pretty far from the green. But there will be somewhere it will be like elevated and you can't really see them.
That to me is why are they going to courses like that? Because me and producer Mike from FGD show, we would walk around there, and if you do not get to the hole like 2 holes before,
can't see.
You're not seeing anything because you are standing like a foot or two below the person in front of you because of how the greens were slanted like that. And like you said, it's got like a crowd of a normal PGA Tour event that's only watching 4 holes at a time.
Yeah.
On Sunday, there's 12 people.
More than a regular PGA Tour event.
Yes, I know. It's too many people for too little golf. Just watch that shit on TV. Deal with all the ads that we got to get bombarded by.
I'm telling you, Ryder Cup, get a VPN and get Sky Sports. I'm telling you, it was amazing. You got to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I really like
the vibes, bro. Like it's so awesome to be there because just like there's sometimes where it'll be like just chills, like when I watched Hideki and Sungjae just wax the Patty X duo. That was some of the best golf I've ever seen, both of them. Like, I don't think I'll ever see any better golf when they play one ball.
No, you do see like such miraculous shots during the P Cup and the Ryder Cup. Just that would never happen on a regular tour event. Rocket Classic this week. We've had a great stretch of golf for a pretty long time. This is a little bit of a come down to a certain extent. I think it's a fine PGA Tour course, a fine venue, a fine event. Not doing anything crazy for him. I think the course is half decent. I like that. It's kind of an older track. We've seen a lot of longer hitters actually win this event, but I think it's kind of a course you could get it done in a multitude of ways. Whatever. If Akshay doesn't 3-putt the last, he's the winner instead of Cam Davis, who's a super long hitter. So what are your kind of thoughts on the course, how it's going to play, and what type of guys you're targeting?
I'm just taking guys that are kind of playing well.
Okay.
I think that's cool. Because anyone can win. So I'm not necessarily honing in on a specific skill set. Maybe you need to be elite in some areas, but if you're playing well, you're likely doing that anyway. So
are you like targeting bomber putter guys? Or are you targeting like wedge guys? Or
anyone that's like showing some life or finishing inside the top 10 a couple times leading into the week, or that is good at winning golf tournaments. Or I'm not necessarily looking for like a specific profile this week. I think it's more of like a who's playing good golf, a vibesy week, but also like form. Who's got some momentum entering the week. Like, is Patrick Cantley going to walk out here and win this thing?
No.
Is Colin going to do that this week?
No.
They are like Colin's going to show up wearing like some sort of like mental institute contraption on his head because he thinks that might help him play better golf. Like,
it's fair. Some VR stuff.
Like whatever you're wanting to look at, and Keegan's going to win back to back.
I feel pretty confident the top 4 on the odds board are not going to win. Colin, Pat, Keegan, Ben Griffin. I feel pretty good that none of them are going to win. Ben Griffin, maybe, possibly.
Bet Ben
what?
I've bet Ben Griffin.
You bet him. Okay,
he's playing great. Out of everyone in this, like, there's no one that's playing better golf than him. Ben Griffin's been on fire lately, dude. And now he's got some pop in the driver to get around this golf course. Like he's elevated his game and he's playing consistently good golf, dude.
3-time winner
Really
on the
good
PGA
golf.
Tour this year.
Yeah. 8th, 1st, 2nd, 10th, 14th. Those are his finishes in the last 5. Like, there's no one that's got a better
What'd you get him
run in.
22?
25 at Bet 365 on the boost there. So
boosted.
It was enhanced. It was on the screen. I didn't have to click any other button. Yeah, it was like
boost it, then they're dead.
That's sure.
If Bet 365 boosts somebody, they're dead.
Well, then
they know that they're not.
Lucky I've got a couple other guys on the card. We'll.
Okay,
we'll
what's the Cam Young bit? Do you think Cam Young sucks?
No, my problem isn't with Cam Young, the golfer. It's the cult that he's created. Like the people on X,
Joseph Lamagna, PJ Clark,
Joseph Lamagna, PJ Clark,
Ryan
Baroff, and the hundreds of others that we will not name.
Yeah,
who think this guy's the next coming of golf Jesus. We've seen like if you think Tommy under the gun is bad, like have you seen what Cam Young has done when he's trying to win a tournament?
I'm with you.
Yeah, he's ultra talented. He can't hit an iron shot. Like we the most owned option in the field this week in DFS is a guy that is like freaking 118th in strokes gained approach this week. Like, how does that make any sense?
So you're not betting him?
I will not touch him with a 10-foot pole.
So you were joking or the ownership. You were only betting Cam Young.
Yes,
that was a joke.
Evidently.
Okay, I wasn't.
You should have definitely seen that as a
full
joke.
bit.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine. I tend to agree with you. I don't think he's winning this week. He's been doing a lot with the putter. The irons have been shit, as you alluded to. He has some good finishes here. Well, at this tournament last year, he literally broke his driver in the mix. Like he was in contention to win the tournament and he hit a bad drive and broke it. So I would say that he gagged it.
Peter Malnati, a guy in a bucket hat with a yellow ball kicking his ass. Like
he lost to Pete Malnati. Yeah, I'm sure there's some other examples, but I think those are two.
Oh, he shot 59 around TPC River Highlands and finished 9th. Okay. You're shooting like the next day he just completely sucked it up.
No, I'm lower on Cam Young than consensus, so I'm fine.
It's not hard to be lower than consensus on Cam Young, my friend.
Decky is dead. I don't think he has any chance. Siwoo, he withdrew last week. Not sure what that was about, but he looks good. I'm not really sure what that's about. I bet Davis Thompson. I really like him this week. He hasn't had the greatest year of all time, but he's had some higher end finishes. The ball striking last week was great. The irons were really, really good. Game 1.7 per round, so like over.
Who's this?
5.
Brian?
Davis Thompson. Putter was terrible. We could flip the putter. We can flip the putter. This is around the time of the year it starts to cook. Off the tee numbers have been really good. Runner up here last year. Has played well on longer tracks. So Davey Tom, 40-1. I'm in. I'm betting him. I like him this week. He's my first.
Me
bet.
too. Me too. I mean,
you're on him.
I'm in on him. Yep.
Can Wyndham Clark win?
I think he's live to win any tournament any week he shows up. Would this be one of the most hated wins anyone has ever had?
Yeah.
Given his run up to this week.
And the Ryder Cup implications.
Yeah, that would be terrible, dude. Having him on the team. Because he was also pathetic at the
He was pathetic. He was pathetic in Rome. And
jeez, dude.
Yeah. No, but this is the thing that happens. I said it last week. In these odd years, the random Americans win the majors. That shouldn't be on the Ryder Cup team. We have Wyndham Harmon and now Spawn. Last year, it was Xander and Bryson. So I think we target American guys that shouldn't be on the Ryder Cup team.
Who's that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who that is. I might bet Wyndham Clark. I might bet Wyndham Clark.
Emotions aside, checks out.
Michigan just went red. Like, we have a lib going up for governor in New York. I'm in. I might bet Wyndham Clark. No bullshit. Boom or bust. Win or miscut.
Yes.
Don't care.
Yes.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Harry Hall, can he win?
What you saying? His first legit top 5 on the PGA Tour since 2023 is going to be his win.
It could
Probably
be.
not.
No, I think I
Like,
think he might be a little bit too short to win here. I don't think he
yeah,
could
I
just
just
do
bet
it
him.
all.
I just bet him top 20, dude. Harry Hall.
Okay.
Just bet him top 20 and call it a day.
Anyone you like in kind of the 40 to 60 range? Mitchell, Rookie, Akshay, Max, Minwoo, Fitz. Anyone striking your
Reisman,
fancy there? You like
Reese Johnson.
Grays?
Yeah, I think easy scoring. That's his jam. Putting. That's his jam. And he's starting to hit the irons and drivers nicely lately. You know, the ball striking's coming along quite smoothly. The putter has actually been the problem, I think, for him the last couple of tournaments.
We can flip it. We can flip it.
Exactly. If you're looking for a hot putter randomly, I'm happy for that. You don't just find ball striking any given week, you know. So
honestly, dude, I could be sold on him.
All right, let me tell you some more stuff. If you're looking for someone, he's the third best putter in the field. That's a given. He's incredible.
He's good off the tee. He's a solid off the tee guy.
Yep, solid off the tee guy. If you're looking for solid form, he hasn't finished outside of 36th this year, like the last 5 starts that he's played in. Ideally, you'd want a couple top 10s or something there, but he's had 3 top 2s.
Yeah.
Wyndham Championship, I think, what was it, Mexico? He finished 4th.
Yeah, he finished runner-up at 3M, runner-up at Wyndham, and then runner-up at Zozo.
Yeah, and then 4th in Mexico. You know, like the fall swing was good, and we
Mexico?
kind of the not the Vedanta one, the other one.
Yeah. That
we kind of getting into the fall swing events. Now.
Yeah,
you know, like
slapdick. No, Grays is kind of like a slapdick summer guy.
Yes, yeah, it's a summer of Grays now. I think.
Okay. I might be it. I mean, he made the cut in every major this year.
Yes, 32nd at the Masters in debut. Like, let's go, dude.
23rd at the U.S. Open. All right, I'm in. My Jewish brethren. I'm in on Grays. I like Yags. I love Yags this week.
Okay.
You know, as Kyle says, you know, you bet Yags on driver heavy courses, and this is one. He's had some good results here, 2 top 10s. He's had a weird year, but the irons have been good, which I like. The putter's been okay. Terrible accuracy. I think he can get away with it somewhat here, but 7th at Truist, 11th at Houston, 3rd in Sony. Like, he's had some high-end finishes, and I trust him to kind of get it done in the mix. Ryder Cup summer. I'm betting Jags 75. I like Jags this week.
That's a fair number, you know, given what he can do. You know, you're not dropping a 35 on that. It's just, where would you not bet Jaeger at? Like a 40?
Yeah,
you know, like, I think 75 is very fair. And like you said, he's going to pop. You know, he's got miscut. He's like Wyndham, German Wyndham.
Yeah.
I think is exactly
what are your thoughts on Goddard?
Not betting him, but bullish. You know, I think definitely DFS player pool there. He's been doing some good work, man. Playing very solid golf very recently after making the US Open qualifying. Where is he on here? He's had like multiple top 30s and played well at the US Open as well.
Yeah. I think this is kind of a books know something situation. Like, this is a guy who was routinely 150 to 1 all year. And now he's 50 to 1. Like, I think it's a steep price to play for him, but he's solid enough, I think, potentially.
Nice. That's the problem with, if he was like 100 to 1, I'm in. Makes complete sense. But
I would bet him at 200 to 1, but the 50 is tough.
Like, I just bet Davis Thompson at 35, and you're going to tell me that, you know, like, Goddard up is going to be 15 points more than that. It's I don't. No, like,
anyone in kind of 80 to 120 range you're looking at?
Yeah, I've got a couple dudes that I'm kind of in the mood for. Obviously, Aldrich Porchetta is going to be on the card. You know, like, 6th at the Charles Schwab. You know, like, just out of nowhere. This is the first time he's playing since.
This right now.
Yeah, dude. It's a great course for him too.
But you just like him because he's South African.
No, I don't just bet this guy every time he plays. I didn't touch him at the Charles Schwab. I think the times I've played him was like Mexico, Farmers, that kind of like the stuff that where you just put driver in the guy's hand, the best driver of the golf ball in this field, distance wise. Doesn't matter. Got that sixth at the Charles Schwab. Now it was a month ago, but I think he's got new irons in the bag as well. He's also 110-1.
Okay.
It's not like you're
Fair.
not throwing half your bankroll at this dude.
I'm fine.
He's got 190 mile per hour ball speed on average, Brian. Like he's leading the tour. That distance
I'm fine with the bet. I'm fine with the bet.
Yeah.
No beef with the bet. Anyone else? Who else are you swimming around?
Yeah, other guys that I'm in the mood for here are going to be the likes of a Matt McCarty at 150-1, perennial winner. 3 times on the KFT, then won the Black D Championship, finished 4th at Canada. The Black D, and then the Canadian finished 4th. So he's showing some form, and he goes low. He's not afraid to be in the mix at all. I think, he's looking for his second PGA Tour win. I think he's a great option over here. Lots of upside, good in birdie baits, easy scoring conditions. That's his jam. Big fan of him. And Toasty, Alejandro Toasty. What was he? 150,
you like
170.
Toasty?
Same situation. I got a Houston Open.
You're betting a couple guys top of the board, and then you're betting a bunch of bombs.
Yes, exactly. So, and these guys at the bottom are the bombers. The bombs are bombing because Toasty, same situation. He played nicely at Houston, kind of compy. I think you can get away with just ripping driver everywhere. Yeah, and you're not going to get penalized so badly that Toasty's going to lose his mind. I think the harder the course, the worse he plays. He's got incredible upside and has been playing solid this year. Just needs to find the right course to break through. So
I'm on Michael Thor Bjornsson. He's coming off a bit of a wrist injury, which is not great, admittedly. But reports from the ground from our guy Ron says that he's fine. He's feeling good. Wrist feels great. He's working on aim point with JJ. New caddy, that is a huge stroke scan indicator for me. If he could putt a little bit better, I think he'd be a really solid tour pro. He's a great ball striker. Off the tee numbers are great. Just can't putt. So gets a new putter, figures something out. I like it. I'm on
new caddy helps him with the lines a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. So I'm pretty high on Thor Bjornsson.
What did you get him? 100?
No, he's like 85-ish.
Okay. I'm seeing a 90 on Bet Rivers, so
yeah, I'm okay with that. EVR?
Yeah, if you're in the mood to sprinkle stuff.
He should have won Byron. He shot like 62 at US Open qualifier, and he's been shit.
Yes. And the Byron is also solid kind of comp, right? Yeah. I think that makes tons of sense. Big, wide open, but apparently he's putting you to sleep, so I don't know if you can go with EVR.
Yeah, I want to bet him, but he's been shit. He's been really bad since that runner-up, and he's done absolutely nothing of note. Absolutely nothing of note. So that worries me to an extent, but he can pop randomly and do some things. So I don't necessarily hate that. I got to see what room I have for people. Okay. I want you to guess this person. Data Golf makes him 650-1. And he's coming off a result where he gained strokes in every major category.
Not John Park, is it?
No. He's a PGA Tour winner.
Every major category, 6. What are his normal odds?
Like 120.
Stephen Fisk?
No. Good guess, though. Cam Champ.
Ooh. Okay.
Why the hell not?
Yeah. He showed up at RBC Canadian, ninth over
Canada.
There.
Gained it every
15th at the Byron. I think maybe a top 20 bet on him isn't terrible either. If you're in the mood for that kind of stuff, probably going to get 5-1.
I'm in.
12th and the 20th year.
I think I'm in.
I just think the amount of wedges that I don't know what his wedge. We don't know what his wedge game looks like anymore because he's not on tour. So there's like no
Yeah.
stats. But he's historically been a pretty shitty wedge player.
Yeah.
He's better at these like long courses with good, like a lot of long irons as well. Whereas this week, I think it's a little more wedgie intensive. He hasn't finished inside the top 10 yet ever.
I'm monitoring the situation on Cam Champ.
Okay.
Monitoring.
I mean, if he plays the Mexico tournament at that wide open ass golf course, like that's the kind of places that I think you're looking for him to do. The less chipping and the more long irons, the better for him.
I agree.
But at this price, I think you're cool. That's whatever. I think
just a taste, as Tom and Marty says.
Yeah.
All right, we got a show after this. We appreciate everyone who tuned in and listened. Appreciate you coming on. Love your content. We got to play some golf soon. Next time I'm in Iowa, I'll come by. We'll play some golf. And
the week before the Ryder Cup, Kenny and Mike are coming over to play 90 holes.
Nice. That'll be fun.
We're going to record the show. So we need a fourth. If you're in the mood, just come and shack up. Yeah.
No, that will be great. Everyone tune in to Hold the Green after this with Steve and Capper. Hope everyone has a great night, great week. John Deere next week. We got some good stuff coming up.
I'll be at the Deere, by the way.
You'll be at the Deere? Are you going practice round?
I'm going Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. No, that'll be
Friday,
great.
Saturday, Sunday.
I'm excited for you. I'm looking out for some good content. I'm hoping.
I'll be dishing out beers if you find me out there. So,
all right, we'll see everyone next week. Hope everyone has a great night, and we'll see everyone very soon.